I was very close to just give up and say like, okay, maybe this is a sign.
It's been just over a week since the historic heart of Fayetteville was forever changed as a devastating fire tore through downtown, reducing 4-century-old buildings to ash.
I lost 12 years of hard work in a couple hours. Everything, I was left with nothing as a business.
Those 12 years were spent on runways in New York, Mexico City, and Paris. But for international designer Juan Guerrero, downtown Fayetteville was home. He operated his studio inside Mercantile on Market, owned by his partner Lance Bonin. Today, the vibrant fabrics and hand-stitched collections are buried beneath brick and ash.
I was very close to just give up and say like, okay, maybe this is a sign. Maybe it's time for me to, change the route. But when I start getting all this love, from my community, that is what is, keeping me standing.
Guerrero isn't the only one feeling that weight. Main Street Association Executive Director Amy Bird says 5 businesses in total were lost in the 4 collapsed buildings. She says the relationships over the last several years are what will sustain the block through the coming months.
We've been with these buildings through grand openings, through moves, through anniversaries, and we'll continue to be with them through their rebuilding.
What once was yellow tape is now a metal fence that is securing the perimeter of the site of the fire, and now city leaders are going to have to work to determine what is next. Bird says it will be a while before a plan is made as businesses are still working with insurance and other variables.
We believe what happened is that a vehicle struck a semi-truck, a tractor trailer. That then set off a chain reaction. I can tell you that a couple dozen tractor trailers were involved in this incident, included in the 100 vehicles that were involved. So I can tell you that of the 10 people that have been injured, they're all minor injuries, which we're very grateful for. There were no fatalities and no major injuries. They've all been transported to area hospitals now via ambulance.
Jared Isaacman made a stop at the Marshall Space Flight Center. According to Deputy Press Secretary George Alderman, Isaacman spoke with leadership and with local employees. The trip, part of an ongoing series of visits to NASA centers across the country. You could see here Isaacman was at the Kennedy Space Center yesterday and made a visit to the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia on Monday. Today, we're celebrating Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a time to reflect on his life and legacy. And when we think of Dr. King, many of us picture his I Have a Dream speech from the March on Washington. But there's a local connection to that iconic moment that many people don't know about. Could Huntsville have played a role in one of the most important speeches in American history? Let's verify.
Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee.
Dr. King's speech still resonates in classrooms and communities across the country. Most people know it was delivered at the National Mall on August 28, 1963, during the March on Washington. But here's the question. Did Dr. King deliver an earlier version of his I Have a Dream speech? Let's verify. Our sources are Oakwood University graduate D. Tim McDonald, Miami New Times, and the historic Hampton House in Miami. Here's what we found. Dr. King presented a speech at Oakwood University just 1 year before his speech for March on Washington. This speech at Oakwood was delivered on March 19, 1962, a little over 60 years ago. Oakwood University graduate D. Tim McDonald was there and was 22 years old at the time.
It was major. I mean, the campus was just on fire that Dr. Martin Luther King was coming to Oakwood. People didn't even know Oakwood. We were rather a small, insignificant, church-supported college, but to have that kind of notoriety was big, and as a student, we were just pumped. It was fantastic.
That excitement wasn't just about seeing a famous speaker. Students at Oakwood were witnessing history in the making, though they didn't fully realize it at the time. Dr. King's visit to the small Huntsville campus would have a lasting impact, not just on the speech itself, but on the community.
Many of the themes that he presented at the mall in Washington, D.C. a year later, you can hear on that tape in 1962. So you might say that we were his proving ground. I think the vestiges of segregation vanished very quickly in Huntsville, much of it as a result of Dr. King's speech.
And according to the Miami New Times, in 1960, Dr. King also delivered an earlier version of his I Have a Dream speech at the historic Hampton House. It was a segregated hotel in Miami where African-American civil rights leaders and celebrities would stay. So we can verify that, yes, earlier and similar versions of Dr. King's speech were presented right here in Huntsville and also in Miami.
If you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.
He's sort of a larger-than-life character for anybody who's grown up here or spent any amount of time here. So just to be able to work directly with him and speak with him, and you know, he went from this legendary person to just this gentle giant who is so personable and, as everybody will say, just so kind and genuine and gentle and generous.
Did all night boogie 'cause push come to shove. I did all night boogie.
The first time I ever saw Dave, I remember being a really small child and going to the park with my parents, and he was performing at the gazebo, and they just said, "We're going to see Microwave Dave," and that name just felt like really activated my imagination as a kid, and so ever since then I've loved his music.
Rachel Lackey, co-founder of Green Pea Press, is more than just a fan of Microwave Dave. She's worked with his Music Education Foundation to help print shirts and posters, a dream that came true.
He's sort of a larger-than-life character for anybody who's grown up here or spent any amount of time here. So just to be able to work directly with him and speak with him, and you know, he went from this legendary person to just this gentle giant who is so personable and, as everybody will say, just so kind and genuine and gentle and generous.
For his colleagues at WLRH, where he hosted his radio show, Talking the Blues, there was barely a dry eye when Fox 54 visited with on-air host Alex Hall, reflecting on how well Microwave Dave connected with people.
Dave had a unique ability to figure out how he could give and help you personally. He would spend a bit of time talking with you, getting to know you, and then figure out where he could help make a difference. For me personally, it was after learning that I had my folks coming into town who were huge blues fans, and he offered to meet up with them and spin some discs and shoot the breeze. And it was just, he didn't know them, he didn't have to do that, and this was Thanksgiving.
Welcome to Trending Topics, where we discuss the hottest happenings and give you our hottest takes. I'm your host, Emily Owen. Up for discussion tonight, Harry Styles' return to music, or so we think. Over the past few days, mysterious posters started appearing in cities like New York, London, and Tokyo. Each one simply asked, "Do you know who you are?" No other details, just a cryptic message that got fans talking. The posters all pointed to a new website, which has been teasing something big, along with the message, "We belong together," being the only thing appearing on the website. Fans have been speculating nonstop, trying to figure out if it's a new album, a single, or maybe even a tour. Then, this morning, a short clip of Harry singing surfaced online. It's just a few seconds, but it's enough to make it clear something is definitely on the way. There's also been rumors spreading around that he has secured a Madison Square Garden residency. No official announcements yet, but between the posters, the website, the voice clip, everything we're hearing all over the internet, I think it's safe to say that the world is paying attention. Harry Styles is teasing something, and fans everywhere, including me, are excited to see what comes next.